Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into WCBN Sports' season coverage of Michigan Lacrosse. We're live, about to get underway here for the home opener against the Canisius Golden Griffins. I'm Alex Miller. Alongside me, my housemate and good friend, Emilio Biagioli. This should be a fun one, and we're excited to get underway and get this season started.
Happy to be here.
Got any opening thoughts, anything you want to keep an eye on going into this one for Michigan?
Just Michigan came into the season rather highly ranked following their trip to the NCAA tournament and Big Ten championship win last year. They kind of got a litmus test of where they stood, playing one of the top teams in the country last weekend in UVA. And with that loss, they kind of know where they stand, and they get to work now.
No doubt about it. So the Wolverines will shout out a lineup of a lot of returners and some big pickups in the transfer portal.
Yeah, Michigan lost some notable productivity in starting attackman Josh Sawada, who transferred to Duke. Offensive midfielder Jake Bonomi is now at Notre Dame, and defenseman Andrew Darby, but they brought in 5 very impactful transfers in Christian Ronda, Justin Tiernan, Cahal Roberts, Bo Peterson, and Andrew Stanzel. So we'll see how all that new talent kind of meshes together over the course of this new season.
So we're about to get underway. Both teams taking to the field right now. Season opener, ready to get underway here. Both teams will meet in the middle. The goalies will both head to their respective positions. For Canisius, the Brother Rice product, Tommy Coons. For Michigan, Hunter Taylor in the crease for the Wolverines.
Interestingly, we have Andrew Stanzel taking this opening face-off wing while Cahal Roberts goes down to close defense. Keep an eye on that rotation for you.
Here comes the face-off. Micah Hansen for Canisius. And Justin Wheatfeld wins it for Michigan. He goes on the attack. Flips it to the wing. To Ryan Cohen. Cohen now try to dodge and he'll head to X behind the crease. To the other side now. Resets it. To the left. Moving it around to the Wolverines. Looking to try to penetrate this Canisius defense. Ryan Cohen has it for Michigan. Back behind the goal. Taking a bump there is Mikey Bain. Now coming in Bo Lockwood, and the Wolverines get one to go.
Noticing an emphasis on that possession to get something going right away with Ryan Cohen. Isaac Aronson set a pick, so he would be able to match up against a short stick defender. He dodged down the alley, bumped it forward. Bo Lockwood also dodged down the alley, had a nice feed to Justin Tiernan, wide open on the crease.
So the Wolverines take an early lead in this one, certainly come into this one as favorites after a really successful season of the Big Ten. Canisius struggled a little bit a year ago. Face-off won, though, by the Golden Griffins. They come the other way. It's the face-off man, Micah Hansen. Now behind to Patrick Mitchell. He'll wrap it back to X. Swings it around. Canisius resets it to the righty wing.
Bo Peterson, one of the best short stick defenders in the country, matches up his man at the top.
And coming charging in are the Golden Griffins. Now swing it around behind the goal. Trying to make a move is Patrick Mitchell. He'll reset it behind the goal at the X. And it's knocked free by the Wolverines by Cahal Roberts.
Cahal Roberts does a really nice job there, just keeping his stick in front, right on the attackman's stick. He's able to dislodge the ball. Continues this from the UVA game where he wreaked a lot of havoc in the middle of the field.
Mikey Boehm will give it to Bo Lockwood. Lockwood will slow it up for man coming on. That's Christian Ronda. Ronda now dodging in. Back over to Lockwood. Now Ryan Cohen for Michigan. Working on the ready wing now across the way. And a shot.
A nice skip pass there from Cohen. That shot from Ronda a little bit out of range, but just looking to get looks on net right now.
The Wolverines will keep possession and reset it to Cohen. Cohen now attacking on the lefty wing. Dodging in toward the crease. Now he's behind the goal. Takes it back out. Trying to find something. Cohen still working. Over and a shot comes and it's in there. The Wolverines score again. Justin Tiernan with back-to-back for Michigan.
They're really using Ryan Cohen as a facilitator so far today. Even though he lined up at attack to start the game, they seem to like him initiating from up top. He gets the defense kind of on its toes, and he finds a nice skip pass to Tiernan, who scores stick side.
So a 2-0 lead from the Wolverines early on in this one. 11:57 left here in the first quarter. Here comes the face-off. And it's won by Michigan. Justin Wheatfeld. Fogo has it up ahead to a cutter. And drove some contact.
A little bit of a buddy pass there from Wheatfeld, but it just shows how aggressive the Wolverines are right now, that they're willing to give the ball up to an LSM in that situation.
After some play, Ryan Cohen has it back for Michigan, now leaves it for Mikey Boehm. Boehm on the lefty wing. Gonna take it down behind the crease.
Boehm is so crucial to this Michigan offense. They're looking to him to shoulder the load after the departure of Josh Sawada. He can play a lot of roles for this team as a facilitator, a shooter, a dodger.
Boehm tried to come in and a whistle blew there.
Looked like a moving pick of some sort, possibly.
So Canisius will have it. For Canisius, it's Jackson Fridge with it. Pass is off of one hot played there by Hunter Peruki, the midi.
I noticed the way they deployed Case Van Wees there on the ride. They let him come up to the midfield and try to wreak havoc on the clear.
For Canisius, Patrick Mitchell. He had the ball a lot early in this one. Resets it over to Caden Easter. Easter down to the lefty wing to Mason Wolford. Back up to Easter. Easter trying to dodge in. Working against Bo Peterson. Now behind the goal go Canisius. Mason Wolford up top. And now here comes a pass down behind the goal again. They swing it around there. A lot of movement here for Canisius. The Wolverines staying steady defensively. Jackson Fridge has it. And now working inside is Patrick Mitchell.
Really nice job right there of Roberts staying on number 4's hands.
Forces
the turnover with the double team from Whitney.
And the Wolverines get a stop.
I just want to make note of Bo Peterson's impact on that possession. He got dodged twice, but it really looked like the Dodger didn't want any part of him. He's built like a linebacker. He's just very physically imposing. I think the Wolverines are kind of hoping he'll serve as almost a sort of fifth pole, so to speak, in the ability to lock down whoever he's guarding.
Bo Lockwood leaves it for Justin Brown, who came off the bench. Brown moving quickly. gets it back now. Brown working on the righty side. Brown attacks, a little bit of a spin move. Now looking for something. Up top to Cohen, swings it around. Now attacking off a spin is Aiden Mulholland. And a shot in there again.
Very nice.
And a nice goal that time for the Wolverines.
That's just nice, simple, fundamental lacrosse offense right there. They trust Aiden Mulholland to draw a slide off the pole. As soon as that second pole goes, leaves Justin Tiernan wide open on the crease, and he cashes in on that nifty behind-the-back finish. And Michigan is now up 3-0.
And all of them scored by Tiernan.
Yes. He's truly one of the premier off-ball attackmen in the country.
Really nice cut that time to get it from Mulholland. And as you said, the flashy finish there. So 3-0 Wolverines, 8:55 left here in the first quarter. And the face-off won by Wheatfeld.
I believe that's Wheatfeld. I think Wheatfeld's now 3 of 4 from the X. We'll see how he rebounds after having a somewhat disappointing performance against UVA, but he returns from last year, having the 4th ranked face-off percentage nationally. But this year, he's expected to shoulder more of the load for this team as he's no longer splitting reps with Nick Rowlett.
So Tiernan leaves it for Bo Lockwood, now gets it back. Or excuse me, that's Christian Ronda. Ronda working behind the crease. Going around now. Throws it out. And attacking is Michigan. I believe that's Isaac Aronson. Cutting inside, and the shot, and that one's in there too for Michigan. Christian Ronda came on the cut and finished it. The Wolverines are red hot early, 4-0.
Again, Michigan, they did nothing spectacular there. Christian Ronda just identified a soft spot in the defense, made a smart, decisive cut, simple feed, nice fundamental finish.
So the Wolverines, 7 minutes in, already up 4-0, and Wheatfeld keeps winning faceoffs, and the Wolverines keep scoring on offense. And a whistle blew there.
It's a violation on Wheatfeld. He won't be able to take the next draw after violating.
So Canisius has it. Jackson Webster.
Assisted by number 5, Michael Boehm. Time of the goal,
Over to Patrick Mitchell. Back out to Webster. Now Hunter Peruki on the left side, dodging in. He'll swing it behind the goal to Patrick Mitchell. Back around. Working against Case Van Wees of Michigan. Now it's Peruki again, trying to work around Bo Peterson. Swings it over on the right side. Trying to work toward the crease is Jackson Webster. A shot is blocked by Michigan. And Peterson comes out with it for the Wolverines.
Gets it ahead.
And he got it ahead. And here come the Wolverines up. One more pass. Oh, it's just off the money. Tiernan was looking for a cutter and missed him. So here comes Canisius the other way. And a shot is blocked.
Nice active stick there from Stansel to knock that shot away.
So 6:38 and ticking. 4-0 Wolverines.
Not much of a ride to speak of right there for Canisius. McCurry got that one across half field with ease.
So McCurry now leaves it ahead for the Wolverine offense. Ryan Cohen now over to Isaac Aronson. Cohen gets it back, working inside on the lefty wing.
They get Cohen back onto a short stick defender. He's looking to invert.
Cohen looking to get inside, shot! And he scored it. Cohen wrapped around and snuck it in. 5-0 Michigan early in this one.
All he needed was a step, and then he was gone, finishing with that offhand righty shot.
It's been a dominant start for the Wolverines, Emilio.
Most definitely.
5-0, 6:09 left here in the first quarter. So the face-off will be taken, I believe, by Jackie Weller with Wheatfeld unavailable for this one. Or no, that is Wheatfeld back in there.
Oh, okay. Maybe the rule's different than I remember.
Timeout, Canisius.
So a timeout by Canisius. They'll try to look to cook something up here, down 5. 6:09 left in the first quarter. I mean, anything Canisius can look for to sort of pick it up.
Right now,
one.
Canisius just really, to me, isn't dodging with much purpose. It looks like they're matching up against the defenders, but then they're just being forced down the alley, and they're not really getting any penetration. On that last possession, the Canisius player was able to back down Grant McCurry, but not really get much leverage on him, as McCurry kind of kept him at goal line extended. His only option was to release that behind the back shot, which Hunter Taylor ate up.
How about on the other side? Michigan's done a really nice job cutting and has been really efficient on offense. Is there anything Canisius can do to try to slow the Wolverines down?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough because Michigan has weapons all over the field, but I'd say they just have, right now it looks like their 2 slide isn't there. So obviously the first slide is when a defender has to pick up a dodger who has beat his man, but then, you know, who's going to cover the man that the person who slid first left open. And right now it doesn't really seem like they have anybody stepping up to guard whoever it is, and often early it's been Justin Tiernan on the crease for wide open goals.
Tiernan has 3, Christian Ronda with 1, Ryan Cohen with the most recent 5th goal for Michigan. Tommy Coons at goalkeeper for Canisius is yet to save a shot. Michigan 5 for 5.
Honestly, his defense hasn't really given him much of a shot. There's really only one savable shot, I'd say, was that shot from Justin Tiernan that kind of went stick side hip, which, you know, was a well-played shot from Tiernan, but that's about the only shot so far that I really fault the goalie with not making.
So we'll get back underway. 6:09 left here in the first quarter. Wheatfeld working the face-off, but it's taken away from him by Micah Hansen of Canisius. Wheatfeld in a bit of a scrum here. Ball's knocked loose to the sideline. Out of bounds, it'll go Michigan's way. Jack Whitney up ahead. To Cahal Roberts.
Michigan goals.
Now ahead to Mikey Boehm.
Ryan Cohen.
Boehm back up top to Christian Ronda. Now gets it back from Bo Lockwood. Here comes Ronda going downhill.
Unassisted at 6:09.
Ronda skip pass
Skip
over
pass.
to Isaac Aronson, and the shot, and it got in. Looked like that one just snuck under.
Yeah, he went 5-hole on the goalie, Tommy Coons there. Nice skip pass from Ronda. That was from distance. Aronson kind of changes levels there. It goes from high to low, kind of tricks the goalie to where that shot might go.
So 6-zip Wolverines, and they're just carving the Golden Griffins up when they have the possession. So 6-0 Wolverines, 5:30 left here in the first quarter. Wheatfeld working for the face-off. Hansen takes it for Canisius. Leaves it behind him.
Hansen gets a second clean win over Wheatfeld there.
So Eric Allen has it for Canisius. Down to Patrick Mitchell.
They sub on Case Van Wees, who looks like right now he's playing the long stick midi position.
Golden Griffins moving it around.
Although the long poles on this roster seem to be fairly malleable, they'll rotate up from LSM down to close defense fairly regularly.
Caden Easter trying to work on Bo Peterson. Peterson pushing him away. Easter falls to his feet, and it's taken away by Michigan.
That's just a good job, Bo Peterson, bodying him up right there.
Here come Michigan the other way. Tiernan, across, shot, and it's in there, fired in.
Yeah, you give Mikey Boehm that much room on the fast break, he's always going to can that. He goes near side high. Goalie really didn't have a chance there. Like I said earlier, Bame is so valuable because he can be out on that left wing and be your sharpshooter. He can play a more off-ball role where he's finishing around the crease. He can be your primary ball handler. He can facilitate. He can take it to the rack his own. Just really one of the best attackmen in the Big Ten and even in the entire NCAA.
A hot start for the Wolverines, 7-0. Win on the face-off for Michigan and Wheatfeld.
Wheatfeld wins it to himself.
So Wheatfeld will go the other way.
Arguably a slash there for Micah Hansen, no flag.
Michigan works it back over to Tiernan. Tiernan down to Cohen.
That was almost identical look right there. Cohen opts to not shoot it.
So Mikey Bame now looks for man coming on, and Justin Brown.
Justin Brown on right now. Always, when he's on the field, always look for him to get a dodge. He's one of the quickest players in the league. He's had some shooting woes over the course of his career, but it's always valuable in the way he can unsettle a defense.
Bo Lockwood was looking for a cutter, and Cohen. Pass was off his stick. Canisius has it going the other way.
I like the idea there from Bo Lockwood, but I don't really think it was necessary at that moment in time to try to force that skip pass when more simple adjacent passes have been working and getting his teammates open.
7-0 Michigan, 3:25 left here.
Got to get it across. Just do.
Canisius just beats the clock. Jackson Fridge has it on the lefty wing. He works down toward the crease.
Wide open.
And a shot fired off the mark there.
I think that's a case there of Cahal Roberts getting a little too aggressive. I think the Wolverines want to capitalize on his ability to cause turnovers, but right there, his attempt to go double team the ball left a shooter wide open.
Hunter Peruki misfired for Canisius. They have it working it around. Michael Frechette.
Justin Ennis getting some run here.
And a wild shot that time from Canisius. They'll have it again, working behind the crease. A spin move and a shot. Nice move there by Jackson Webster. And Canisius is on the board.
So I think the Wolverines, they give a lot of trust in their short stick defensive midfielders. Right there, they kind of left Carson Billig out on an island. And the attackman, if you remind me who that was.
Jackson Webster.
Jackson Webster. He did a good job of feeling the pressure from Carson Billig and was able to roll and finish in front of the crease.
So 7-1.
A lot of times there'll be a long pull there to slide and help out Billig, but right there they were kind of just letting him operate on an island.
Face-off is initially won by Hansen, taken back by Michigan.
Notable,
Peterson has it.
Hansen's won the last couple clamps over Wheatfeld. Michigan ends up with the ground ball, but it's an interesting development here.
Peterson working it inside. It's Cohen. Cohen looking for a cutter, and one more inside. Shot is knocked away.
That's Wheatfeld there, staying in on offense and getting the crease look. Couldn't can it that time.
So Wheatfeld will go off now for Jack Welsh. Michigan brings on the deep hole.
As noted earlier, Case Van Wees was up near the half field on the ride, and that caused that turnover.
Shot in there, fired in. Tiernan again for Michigan.
Justin Tiernan is really feeling it right there. As soon as he got the ball, he's about 10 yards out. This time he goes with a little bit of a low to high release, gets the goalie starting to drop low, looking for a 5-hole shot, ends up going high, and that's another goal for him.
How about this start for the Wolverines? 8-1, a minute 46 left here in the first quarter.
They look really good, Alex. They're playing efficiently. They're playing smart. Very few errors so far.
Jackie Weller will get this face-off for Michigan, and he wins it cleanly off the ground ball.
Interesting note about Jackie Weller is that he's actually left-handed, which is something you don't see too often from face-off middies. So he actually takes the clamp right-handed, then as soon as that ball is dislodged, switches it to his opposite hand as quickly as he can.
Ryan Cohen has it for Michigan, a minute 30 and ticking left here in the first quarter. Cohen working behind the crease, looking for a shot, and he snuck it around. Ryan Cohen, another solo goal for Michigan.
We talked earlier about Justin Brown being among the quickest players in the nation, but so is Ryan Cohen. They trust him to get a step on anybody, and he takes his matchup behind the cage, he gets a couple steps, and he's just ready to let that loose as soon as he crosses goal line extended.
9-1 Michigan. A minute and 19 seconds left here in the first quarter. The Wolverines only scored 11 total goals in their season opener away at Virginia in a 19-11 loss. They're almost there in the home opener. I think Weller's back out there for the face-off for Michigan. And Weller initially has it, and it's picked up by Michigan.
It's a nice ground ball by Stanzel. I noticed that Weller's face-off style is slightly different from Wheatfeld. He likes to kind of scrap a little bit more. He likes to make it more of a ground ball battle instead of relying on the clamp so much.
Michigan resets it with Christian Ronda.
You have a short stick matchup on Ronda. I'd like to see them go to him here. Unless he's going to set a pick and look to get a shorty on Lockwood. No, it's back to Ronda.
So Ronda gets it back from Bo Lockwood, working down on the short stick defender. Back out to Bo Lockwood. Lockwood dodging in. Shot is fired and in there by Bo Lockwood.
That's just right, classic alley dodge down the lefty alley. Slide didn't come, he cans it. Bo Lockwood is just, he's a sophomore, he's a rising star in this Michigan squad. You know, offensive rotation was pretty set last year, but he was too talented to completely come off the field. He played as an extra man specialist. This year he's going to feature prominently as either a starting attackman or starting midfielder, wherever the team may decide he fits best into the rotation.
So 10-1 Michigan, 32 seconds. Wheatfeld back out in there for this face-off for Michigan.
That's in the back. Push in the
nailed
back,
it.
Michigan ball.
Push in the back there by Micah Hansen. So under 30 seconds, down to 25. Bo Peterson has it for Michigan. Wolverines going to look for one last goal here in the first quarter. 20 seconds now.
And we get to see Bo Peterson play a little offense potentially, which he is perfectly capable of doing.
12 seconds. Peterson charging in. And a pass inside, And a wild one there.
Defender number 43.
Austin Burien.
Austin Burien did a good job of lifting Mikey Bame's stick right there, right as he was about to let that shot loose.
4.6 now. Cohen inbound. And that'll go awry. And the buzzer will sound. But Michigan has to be happy with their first quarter performance. They'll exit the first up 10-1.
A note on short stick defensive midfielders like Bo Peterson. Many of the short stick defensive midfielders were some of the best offensive players on their high school teams. So you keep that in mind. Whenever they get the ball on the offensive end, it's very important that they can also pose a threat, especially in transition on the fast break. I know I wouldn't want to be defending Bo Peterson's 6'4", 210-pound frame as he's coming downhill towards you. Kind of reminds me of how there's also the connection there between him and Bubba Fairman from University of Maryland several years ago. Both Utah natives, both initially offensive recruits and found a niche as defensive midfielders. Fairman eventually played a very crucial role on the 2022 national championship team. We'll see how Peterson, if Peterson can play that same crucial role for the Wolverines this season.
10-1 Michigan early on.
I believe Hunter Taylor maybe faced, 3-4 shots total, 2 on goal. Really
5 shots total, 2 on goal.
Not much offense to speak of from Canisius here.
Opposed to Michigan, 13 shots, 11 of them on goal, and only 1 has been saved. And that leaves you to the 10-1 lead. The Wolverines hold going into the second quarter.
10 goals is quite a number for one quarter of lacrosse.
And now even this is so early on, but you start wondering how long the Wolverines are going to keep riding with their top guys. And
yeah, I think at the NCAA level, coaches look, even in the blowout this is starting to develop into, they look to keep their starters in at least until the end of the first half,
Yeah.
and then they'll perhaps start rotating guys in the third quarter, and then maybe go deep bench in the fourth quarter.
So we'll switch sides here from our perspective. Hunter Taylor will move to the left goal, and Michigan will go attacking the other way. 10-1 Wolverines. We're about to get back underway here for the second quarter. I'm Alex Miller. Joining me, some excellent knowledge on color commentary, is Emilio Biagioli.
We'll see Wheatfeld take this draw. Last couple draws he's taken, he's lost the clamp here to Micah Hansen, so we'll see how he does.
So the draw is won.
Hansen wins the
Again
clamp
by
again.
Hansen.
He's got it on the fast break.
He's charging and fires it left to the goal.
It's going to stay with Canisius. Attackman was closest to the end line when the ball went out.
Patrick Mitchell. And Canisius moves it up top to Jackson Fridge. Fridge over to Jordan Reed. Reed, the freshman, working on the righty wing. Dodges past a Michigan defender inside, but the Wolverines get it back. And coming the other way for Michigan is Jack Whitney. He leaves it for Mikey Boehm. Wolverines swinging around to Tiernan. Now down to Bo Lockwood. Lockwood will reset it for Michigan.
Whitney staying in a little bit on offense. Now he goes sub out at the midline.
Aiden Mulholland.
Look for Justin Brown to get the ball here and take a dodge, especially on a short stick defender.
So
see what type of separation he can get.
So the Wolverines reset it to Brown at the midline. He comes attacking down, fires a shot. It's picked off on a hop by Michigan.
It's a nice confident stroke from Brown there. Just happens to deflect off the defender. Would like to see that aggression from him the rest of the season.
Bo Lockwood has it for Michigan. He works toward the crease.
Look for Cohen off-ball cut here.
Lockwood. Now Justin Brown. Lockwood.
Tiernan's alone in the crease. No.
Aiden Mulholland for Michigan.
Boehm with a short stick matchup behind the cage.
So Boehm
take
will
it
attack
himself.
off of that to Brown. Brown lost it as he turned to fire. Now gets it back in his stick. Now picked up by Mikey Boehm for Michigan.
Still plenty of time. Still plenty of time on the shot clock here.
30 seconds on the clock. Brown over to Ryan Cohen. Cohen trying to dodge toward the crease to a cutter. One more pass. Tiernan couldn't get the shot off.
Ooh, laid the lumber right there from Aiden Mulholland.
Mulholland a big hit.
Canisius goalie Tommy Coons gets a ground ball though. Gets it to a short stick D-midi.
Nice job by Coons to control it for Canisius. 10-1 still, 12:25 and ticking left here in the second quarter.
I will say Michigan had their looks on that possession, but that's a better job of Canisius of having their two slides ready and not letting anybody get quite open enough to really get a good look on goal, force some passes and pressure, and a couple of them got dropped and they get the ball back.
Jackson Webster has it for Canisius, resets it to Mark Maytot. Now behind the goal, and there, Canisius keeps swinging it around.
Here, stays on the pick. Got Billig on.
Caden Easter has it for Canisius, working on Billig. Shot fired.
Billig did a really good job again getting his stick on the hands. Easter cannot really get very much force on that shot, and it goes wide.
Canisius still has possession though.
That's some good fundamental defense from Whitney. Prevents the attackman Webster from going underneath.
Patrick Mitchell, 6 on the shot clock, fires a shot. Hunter Taylor gets that one in his stick. Bo Peterson the other way for Michigan.
That's probably more space, and Stans would like Mitchell to get there. Nice save from Taylor.
In transition, shot fired by Boehm was high. Michigan will keep it. Bo Lockwood.
So you're starting to see Canisius make some improvements here. That was a good look that got saved by Hunter Taylor. Looking a little more organized on defense.
Cohen leaves for Isaac Aronson.
I really want to see Ronda be more assertive here. He's an all Ivy League caliber player. We're gonna be looking at him to be one of Michigan's primary facilitators this year.
Lockwood.
Open shot.
Shot fired.
Goes behind.
Pass down below.
Up top.
Up top looking for something as Ronda fires off the bar.
You see right there, that's what I'm talking about from Ronda. He's got to let that thing loose whenever he has that look.
So now
and
Mikey Boehm for Michigan.
Thing rattled off the cage.
Mikey Boehm trying to get toward the crease. Up top to Cohen. Inside. Off a bounce. Couldn't finish was Aronson.
Michigan's identity on offense is more of a smaller, quicker group of players. So I do think it's nicer to have some bigger physical complementary pieces. Aronson is somebody that can kind of play that role. Justin Tiernan is an off-ball attackman. So we'll see how that develops, who steps up in that role as the season goes on.
Cohen has it now for Michigan. Michigan tried to get it.
Just a little out of sorts there. Ronda was looking for the pass behind the cage. Lockwood wasn't quite ready for it.
9:50 and ticking left here in the second quarter. Still 10-1
There's Van Wees
Wolverines.
again helping out on the ride. I think that's really effective. He dislodges the ball.
Michigan has it going the other way.
It got D-Middy Jack Welsh coming up. That's maybe a penalty. No.
Shot is off the goalkeeper, Coons, and he picks it up in his stick for Canisius.
Mikey Boehm kind of got a buddy pass there in the crease. Really all he could do to get it on goal was to do a little behind-the-back shovel shot. Easy save there for Coons.
Jackson Fridge.
Michigan is riding rather ferociously here. They double-teamed the D-Middy there.
Fridge gets past the midline.
He manages to swim move his way across.
Now Canisius trying to look for something on offense. Jackson Webster. Leaves it behind, and they'll go underneath to Mitchell. Now up around to Jordan Reed. Reed trying to work toward the crease for Canisius. Working around.
Billig remaining really physical on that matchup. Pick, stays there. Whitney just harassing right there.
And some help comes from Cahal Roberts. And a scrum ball goes up in the air. Nobody sees it. And it's picked up on the ground by Michigan.
Oh, not anymore.
And taken back, and it'll stay with Canisius.
Cahal Roberts follows one of the cardinal rules of defense there. If you're the adjacent defender and you see that midfielder's back, you're sliding. He doesn't see you, you're going to have a good chance to dislodge the ball, and that's exactly what he does.
Patrick Mitchell now for Canisius. Over to Mason Wolford. And they'll swing it around to the righty wing in the form of Jordan Reed. Reed's had a little bit of success trying to get downhill these last couple tries.
Gets top side.
It's top side, swings it around.
Billig recovers well.
Now back to Mitchell.
A little bit open there, but he was guarded well enough that by the time he caught the ball and got his bearing there, Webster really had no angle towards the goal to take that shot.
It'll stay with Canisius, 7:35 left, and
that is a defensive lapse right there.
On the cut came Mitchell.
Mitchell was wide open. It looked like he kind of rushed that finish. Maybe had time to throw in a fake there, get Hunter Taylor out of sorts, but Hunter Taylor kind of stands strong and makes the save. Roberts in some trouble here.
Gets it up, though, to Ryan Cohen.
He goes over midfield and back. That's no longer a penalty.
Cohen to Tiernan. Now Bo Lockwood. And back, they'll reset to Cohen. Justin Brown on for Michigan. He'll get it. He's been rapid getting downhill for the Wolverines.
Already draws a slide.
Tries to dodge. And Cohen now for Michigan. Now Brown.
Boehm's going to the crease. Look for Boehm to flash open.
Brown fires a shot. It's wide left.
Like I said, Brown can get separation as well as any midi in the entire country. But until he can that shot consistently, he's not going to draw the pole matchup.
Justin Tiernan now. Now Cohen. Cohen looking for someone. And a shot fired and in there.
That's just a very nice job by Ryan Cohen. On that play, playing the quarterback role, keeps his head up, finds Michael Boehm at the top of the box. Michael Boehm turns and rakes, puts it high.
So 11-1 Michigan.
I will say the pace of the scoring has significantly slowed down since the first quarter.
That was the first goal of the quarter, and almost 10 minutes has gone by. Michigan eventually breaks the seal. 11-1 Wolverines.
There's a procedure call on Micah Hansen. Wolverines get the face-off win.
So Wheatfeld will have it for Michigan.
Michigan goal is
Wheatfeld will attack down.
Wheatfeld looking to get it through X, gets it to Michael Boehm instead, almost throws it away. He's going to stay on and bury that pole so he has less impact on the game.
And a shot fired and in there. Peterson on the offensive end scores one for Michigan.
Like I noted about Poe Peterson, he is capable at both ends of the field. If you give him that much space from 10, 15 yards out, he'll let it loose.
12-1 Michigan.
Michael Frechette getting an LSM look here on the wing. Sorry, excuse me, that's Jimmy Pisani.
The face-off. Wheatfeld comes up with it.
Nice clean win there. McCurry going to the goal.
And McCurry scores it. Snuck it through Coons.
McCurry.
Slow start to this quarter, and all of a sudden, some quick goals coming from Michigan.
McCurry does his job. He's capable in transition, receives that pass in traffic from Wheatfeld, switches to his offhand, right hand, and just buries that look.
So 13-1 Wolverines. 5:53 left here in the second quarter.
No penalties so far in this game. Nobody spent time in the box, no man up.
Face-off won quickly by Wheatfeld for Michigan.
Wins it to himself. Hansen's got to be careful there on that slash. He's not going to get called for a slash because he hit all stick. But when you take one hand off your stick and you're really winding up, that's a telltale sign for the ref to give you a penalty.
Boehm to Lockwood, now Tiernan.
Isaac Aronson's been a little quiet tonight. We'll see if he decides to take his short stick matchup here. Gives it up to
Aronson will
Cohen.
leave it to Cohen. Now he'll leave it for Christian Ronda. Ronda trying to isolate his matchup.
Christian Ronda noted for his two-handedness. Truly, his defenders don't know if he's going to go left or right. Perfectly capable with both hands.
Ronda again behind the goal to Lockwood.
Tiernan fighting inside for some space.
Lockwood a spin, trying to get inside to a cutting Tiernan. Pass is knocked away. Lockwood will recover for Michigan.
Canisius doing a pretty good job on this possession. Nobody's really getting top side.
Isaac Arison, the Wolverines will reset it up top. Mikey Boehm.
See what Mikey Boehm can do from up top here. Michigan likes to give their attackman looks from up top every so often.
Boehm to a cutter inside.
Aronson running out of space. Fakes slow, goes high, almost goes in.
It'll be Cohen now, looking for a cutter up top. And the shot fired off a bounce. Cohen will play it to the other side of the goal. Another shot fired by the Wolverines, and that one's in there for Isaac Aronson. You were just talking about Aronson being quiet, and he gets one there for Michigan.
Yeah, Cohen really playing more of a facilitator role this quarter. He's had about 3 identical looks there, delivering a skip pass from the lefty wing. That looks like a look they go to a lot. That's kind of a bread and butter play for the Wolverines. Michael Boehm misses that first shot. Cohen picks up the ground ball nonchalantly, gets it back to Aronson. Aronson delivers a nice fundamental overhead shot.
And a timeout
Canisius.
taken again by Canisius. 14-1 Michigan.
I will say at the first quarter, everything was rather easy for the Wolverines. They didn't really have to do much. They didn't have to dodge very often. Looks were just there. Canisius defense is making them work a little harder for it this quarter, but they've adjusted well in these last couple minutes.
4:23 left here in the second quarter. You got to look at our broadcast cam set up.
I forgot I was there.
Alex Miller alongside Emilio Biagioli, who's killing it on color commentary, keeping this game infused with some knowledge.
Look, we have Jackie Weller ready to take this next face-off. Wheatfeld's kind of picked up the pace a little bit this quarter, kind of starting to own that matchup versus Hansen.
14-1. The Wolverines stalled a little bit to begin the second quarter, and then the goals started coming quickly.
It's very impressive from the Wolverines defense that they've only allowed 4 shots on goal from the Canisius defense, making things rather easy on goalie Hunter Taylor.
Doesn't hurt that Michigan has won 12 of the 16 faceoffs.
Yes, that's obviously a huge factor as well, and a big reason that game against Virginia last weekend started to get out of hand, as Anthony Gabriel of the Cavaliers really kind of dominated that matchup at the X.
So 4:23 left here in the second quarter. We'll get back underway. Certainly right, Weller will take the face-off for Michigan.
Rowan Clay and Bo Pedersen take the wings.
Clay, the freshman from Grand Rapids.
Let's watch Weller take this face-off and observe the way he's not as clamp dominant as Wheatfeld. He likes to kind of scrum it up a little bit more. Uses athleticism to win the face-off.
He'll once again work against Micah Hansen.
It's not Micah Hansen this time, number 38.
You're right, they'll bring on Owen Tishaney.
Weller wins it forward.
Weller wins it for Michigan.
Being wide open.
And Boehm fires high. Michigan got a good look there in transition.
Yeah, it's very, Weller looking to stay on here. Now he's just playing with his defender, trying to get any sort of subbing advantage they can.
Assisted by number 40, Ryan Cohen. Time of the
Michigan
goal,
will reset
4
it.
minutes, 23 seconds.
So Christian Ronda now over to Ryan Cohen.
4:23.
Cohen lefty wing. Fakes a pass, now working toward the crease.
Draws a slide. Skip pass there to Ronda. One more.
And that one blocked. Tommy Coons finally comes up with a stop there for Canisius.
That's a tough shot to make, you know, and the goalie, Tommy Coons, steps out, decreases Aronson's angle. It's a rather easy save right there.
So Canisius will try to work it across the midline.
Cahal Roberts disrupts that pass. Whitney with the nifty ground ball. He's going to get it to Taylor, start the clear.
So Michigan will try to go the other way now, up to Stanzel. Stanzel over to Rowan Clay.
Open on the crease.
Flipped
Ooh.
over. Fancy work there on the assist.
That is a beautiful little nifty behind the back feed there from Bo Lockwood on the crease to Michael Boehm. Wide open on the lefty wing, and finishes don't come much easier than that.
Right after the goal was scored, Lockwood got a point from his teammate. Giving a lot of credit with that assist.
Hansen's back on for Canisius, as is Wheatfeld for the Wolverines.
So 15-1 Michigan, a dominant start to this one. 3:17 left here.
Wheatfeld wins it back to
Wheatfeld
himself.
wins the faceoff.
Michigan goal.
Wheatfeld took a shot to the head there from Hansen. Now goes the other way.
Hansen has had a couple.
Peterson fires off the mark.
Hansen's had a couple borderline slashes. One of those is going to get called here if he continues to do that.
That's Boehm from Lockwood at
So
3:17.
Lockwood working behind the crease for Michigan. To inside and over the shoulder. But off the mark was the shot from Tiernan.
Interesting there, as the Wolverines opted to go early offense without their entire personnel subbed on. Sometimes that can work. Right there, though, pretty easily snuffed out as Canisius throws it away on the ride, on the clear.
Lockwood laid a big hit. It'll stay with Canisius. Working on Bo Peterson is Jackson Fridge. Now up ahead to Patrick Mitchell. The X to Mason Wolford.
Justin Ennis back in the game at D-Midi.
Canisius will again work it to Mitchell and back around the horn. Now way up top. Canisius working around Jackson Fridge, trying to work on Ennis. Or excuse me, that's on Peterson. And Peterson throws him to the ground and takes it away.
Peterson just imposes his will right there on the smaller offensive midfielder.
Canisius comes up with the ground ball.
That was number 6, Fridge, who was knocked to the ground by Pedersen.
Now it'll be Michigan. Ennis has it. Up ahead to Peterson.
Watch Peterson leading the break here. Opts to slow it down.
We'll slow it down to Tiernan. Now working in the X is Bo Lockwood. Back and forth with Tiernan. Lockwood again.
Aiden Mulholland is back on the field as an offensive midfielder. Haven't really noticed them going to him a lot as an initiator this season. Very highly touted recruit out of Manhasset, Long Island. We'll see if he can take the jump up this year.
Cohen working from behind the crease. Skip pass now to Tiernan. To Bo Lockwood on the left side, trying to drive in. Lockwood spins, looking for something, goes the other way. Now to Cohen. Skip passes over the head of Justin Brown and out of the sideline.
Cohen tried to go for that same skip pass there, just a little too high for Brown to corral.
So Canisius will go the other way. Riley Jenkins, a high
Chance
pass,
for
but corralled. And it's knocked away.
It's a nice hustle play from Mulholland, keeping himself in the play.
Mulholland came from behind. Rowan Clay down for Michigan. Took a little bit of a part of the shot there.
Rowan Clay is providing some important LSM depth for the Wolverines as they wait for the return of starter Ryan Schreiber.
So the trainer will come out here to check on Clay. He's taking his helmet off and looked like he took a bit of a shot there from Mulholland as Mulholland came to make a play defensively, and he made the play, but his teammate took part of the damage.
Yeah, you never want to see that, especially this early in a game, and early in the season as well. Clay is a fairly highly touted prospect, and it's a testament to his abilities. He's earning so much playing time so early into his college career.
So Clay is still down, being checked on by the trainers.
Clay wears number 3, somewhat of a tribute to his older brother Bryce, who was a team captain and attackman last season. See if he can carry on the family tradition well.
Bryce played for 4 years at U of M. The Clay family from Grand Rapids, Michigan. 1:05 left here in this first half.
Speaking of Bryce Clay, and relevant to this year's, as Rowan Clay gets up and is cheered by the crowd. Relevant to the way the offense is running this year, Clay would come in at attack last year, and they would sometimes bump Ryan Cohen up to the midfield, and it appears that they're kind of going with that strategy again, this time Bo Lockwood kind of playing Clay's role. Bryce Clay, that is.
So Rowan Clay will trot off for Michigan.
Appears that his day might be done. Although,
so 15-1 Michigan, 1:05
we'll
left here in the second. We wish the best for Rowan Clay.
of course.
Canisius will have it offensively with 1 minute and 5 seconds left here to work with in this quarter.
That may mean that we see more of Frischette and Pisani going forward with Clay for the moment out of the game.
So Canisius working it around. Jordan Reed.
Canisius in an open set here, nobody in the crease.
Seems they've had a lot of that with swinging it around.
In an open set, it's the adjacent defender's job to slide if a Canisius offensive player gets a step, beats their man.
So Easter to Webster. Jackson Webster now working against Bo Peterson.
Now, you hate to speculate that the Canisius players don't want to dodge, but right now it kind of seems like they're tossing it around, not wanting to really test that physically imposing Wolverines defense.
Easter leaves it for Mason Wolford. Now attacking on a dodge, and the shot fired, knocked away by Hunter Taylor, but it snuck in.
Wolford had a nice underneath move there, beat Stanzel. Now, if you could, what was Wolford? Where's he from?
Freshman from Plain City, Ohio.
And I suspected that because that was very box lacrosse from the indoor lacrosse played predominantly in Canada. It was a very box move. He face dodged his defender, kept it in his left hand the whole way, faked high, went low, and canned that shot. It's one of the few defensive lapses we've really seen here from Michigan. Hansen goes early. Wheatfeld awarded the ball.
So 4.3 seconds for Michigan. They'll try to get something
Can
quick.
Wheatfeld take it himself?
And Wheatfeld is tripped to the ground.
Tries to sell that call. I think it was rather incidental contact there, but got to try to get what calls you can.
So that'll do it for the first 2 quarters. Michigan 15-2. Really, you've got a lot to say this half, but what else is there for Michigan?
I just think this is nothing against Canisius. I think Michigan is kind of just imposing their will. I think the talent on their roster basically stands up to the best of the Big Ten, the best ACC, whatever team they might play, and they're putting that on display today. I've been impressed with Case Van Wees, the long pole in the middle of the field. He's wreaked some havoc on the ride, never really making it comfortable for Canisius to bring the ball from the defensive end into the offensive end. I've also been very impressed with Ryan Cohen. They've used him as a facilitator even more than, say, Mikey Boehm, who you might expect to take on more of that role. He's had some nice skip passes. He's netted goals when he's had the openings. Nice patient play from him.
So for Michigan, Tiernan with 4 goals and an assist. Boehm with 3 goals, 2 assists. 2 goals for Isaac Aronson. 2 for Cohen with 4 assists. Rhonda has a goal and assist. Lockwood with a goal, 2 assists. One of them something special. A goal apiece for Peterson and McCurry. And an assist as well for Wheatfeld.
The sophomore, Lockwood, you kind of just tell when the ball's in his stick, he plays with a certain confidence. He's able to really, he has a little shake in him. He can get his defenders off balance. He's very confident in his stick skills. We saw him deliver that behind the back feed to Michael Boehm on that 1 goal. He's just a very, very exciting young player to watch and figures to be a large contributor on this program for several seasons to come.
So we've got 9 minutes, 30 seconds left here in this halftime break. So Amelia, I feel like you're the one who should be leading this discussion. Is there, what else do you want to hit on this team? It's probably the only game you're going to call this season. And what do you want to hit on with this team looking forward?
One thing I'm interested in is how Michigan handles a face-off. Like I said last year, Justin Wheatfeld and Nick Rowlett split draws basically 50-50 down the middle, and they were both well above 50%. Michigan are one of the best tandems in the country. This year, Nick Rowlett has graduated, now plays for the PLL Chaos, the Professional Lacrosse League. Wheatfeld now figures to take the majority of draws, but really that is quite a drain on a face-off midi. Even the best of face-off middies need somebody to spell them. So it'll be interesting to see how much they go to Weller, or how much they go to other reserve face-off men like Louderbeck. It's also important to have a second capable face-off guy because some face-off men just have different styles, and for whatever reason, your style may not work against another face-off guy's style, and you need to mix up the matchup.
And Weller's been, so far in this one, taking 3 face-offs, won all 3. An interesting player for Michigan going forward.
I'm also interested how Michigan navigates the long pole unit, because I've noticed from last week into this game, I've noticed LSM reps from Case Van Wees, Jack Whitney, Andrew Stanzel, Cahal Roberts, and they're still missing Ryan Schreiber, who's their multi-year starter. I think that all those guys are really, really talented. You can't really afford to let each other not afford to let guys cut into each other's reps. So I'm interested in what they'll do. I think they might need to, whether Cahal Roberts is more comfortable playing LSM and Ryan Schreiber is also more comfortable playing LSM, whether or not that's the case, they're going to need to have both of them on the field at the same time. One of them's going to have to play close defense to really benefit this Wolverines roster.
(15-2) early in this one. Talked face-off, talked defense, and talked a little bit on offense, but the offense has been really efficient in this one for Michigan. And
they really have. I mean, goalkeeper Tommy Coons is getting just peppered with shots, you know. Maybe a couple here or there he had a chance to save, but for the most part, they're wide open shots, and no coach is expecting a goalie to save those shots. Really, Mikey Boehm has been very efficient on the lefty wing, playing more of an off-ball role today. They've had a couple nice step downs, open step downs from about 10 to 15 yards. Aaronson's canned a couple. Peterson canned one in transition offense. Rhonda canned one. I like the way the Wolverines are moving the ball today. Rather unselfish offense. Don't need anybody to really dominate.
some really nice assists for Michigan. Cohen had a couple, and obviously the highlight one from Bo Lockwood. And most goals for Michigan have come assisted in this one. I believe Cohen had an unassisted goal. Maybe he had a second. But a lot of the Michigan goals have come off assists.
Yeah, some of those smaller, speedy attackmen like Cohen or Lockwood or Mikey Bay, and you know, as soon as they're getting around goal line extended, they get a step on their defender, as they are wont to do. They're just ready to turn around and fire as soon as they get enough angle on that goalie. Especially if the slide is not fast enough to keep up with them. In that case, that slide's coming. They're heads up. They're looking for Justin Tiernan on the crease to kind of catch that and dump it into the net.
So let's talk about the slide. I'm kind of the layman here in lacrosse, if you haven't noticed during this first 2 quarters of broadcasting. Is that like a sort of like help defense kind of thing?
Yeah, essentially yes. If your man gets beat, defender has to beat it to slide. And that's a big, you know, in lacrosse, you're going to get beat. It's just a fact of the game. And especially short stick defenders are going to get beat because they're just at a fundamental disadvantage. So defense, the mark of a good defense is not only to have that first slide ready to make sure that that man with the ball doesn't get a good look on cage. You have to have that second slide ready to make sure whoever that first slide just left open, they've got somebody covering on the opposite side of where the ball is to make sure that there's no easy look there. And then just try to recover as quickly as possible and get the ball out of harm's way. Hunter Taylor not really faced too much challenge so far in this first half. Was really impressed with his play last season as he came on strong, won the starting role around the beginning of the Big Ten championship. I was particularly impressed with his aggressiveness in the clear game. He was very willing to get out in the clear game, move the ball himself, several times even taking the ball across half field himself. And just, it's a testament to his athleticism. And that's kind of a more modern breed of goalie there. You know, the old kind of philosophy, your goalies doesn't have to be too mobile, kind of be a bigger guy, take up a lot of the net. That's a little bit outdated, as now we have these smaller, spry goalies who are able to make more things happen in the game.
Hunter Taylor, the sophomore from Rockville, Maryland. Not too far from you, maybe, or?
Yeah, it's about 45 minutes down the road. He went to the Landon School, which is just outside of Washington, D.C. They're a lacrosse powerhouse. Some other D.C., Maryland area players on this Michigan roster are Jackie Weller, went to St. John's College High School, which has dominated high school lacrosse the last several years.
You match up with any of these guys?
No, they're a little bit outside of my high school's competition range. I played a couple games against players from more of the Baltimore area private schools, such as Boys Latin, Calvert Hall, Loyola Blakefield, McDonough, but not too many guys from those schools. on this Michigan roster. They also have Justin Ennis is another native of the area. He went to Gonzaga College High School in Washington, D.C. So even though we are so far away from the mid-Atlantic and the lacrosse hotbeds of Baltimore, Washington, D.C., Long Island, Philadelphia area, we still see quite a significant contingent on this Michigan roster as they start getting higher and higher profile recruits, as they kind of cement their place in the lacrosse atmosphere.
So would you say Michigan made a jump sort of over the last season or two?
Yeah, so Michigan, they were a club team until just over a decade ago, I believe. And they started this program. They became a varsity team, not yet in the Big Ten. They started in the NESCAC, I believe, or a different conference. And they had to work their way up. And eventually they were able to join the Big Ten. And up until last year, they really hadn't won that many notable games against conference opponents. They're still kind of definitively sort of the little brother of the conference, and sometimes even thought of as kind of an easy win. This last year, though, something clicked. They had some really, really formidable players in Josh Sawada and Mikey Boehm, who are among the best at their respective positions in the country. You can add Justin Wheatfeld in there, and they were able to kind of stand up to the big guys at the conference and say, "I'm not afraid of you." I was home from school, and I went to Homewood Field, home of the Johns Hopkins Blue Jays, which was the host site of the Big Ten tournament. And Michigan just imposed their will on the Maryland Terrapins. Maryland Terrapins are kind of the gold standard of college lacrosse here in the past decade plus. And at times, Maryland looked lethargic against Michigan last year. Michigan just had a certain energy around them. During that run, it felt like they were playing confident. It felt like they were playing like they knew they were going to win. And I think that ethos is huge going forward as they're led by Coach Kevin Conry. And they try to make a run this time even deeper into the national playoffs.
We're about to get back underway here for the third quarter. Alex Miller alongside me, Emilio Biagioli. He's dropping some knowledge on the lacrosse scene. Wolverines up 15-2. It's been a dominant performance in this one. The Wolverines dropped their season opener away against a good Virginia squad, 1911, and looks like they're going to pick up their first win of the season at home today.
Yep, it'll be a good, I think the Wolverines are aware that they're going to face different competition as the season goes on, but this is obviously a nice confidence boost after kind of receiving a somewhat rude wake-up call last weekend against University of Virginia.
So Wheatfeld working on the face-off, and it's taken away on a ground ball by Hansen.
That's a judgment call right there. You could argue Wheatfeld got pushed in the back, but referees let them play on. Watch Mikey Boehm on the ride here. He is quick and he is ferocious. If that ball is still on the Michigan's offensive end of the field, he's going to be harassing whoever has it.
A long pass up across the way, caught by Mason Wolford. And now Patrick Mitchell looking for something for Michigan. For Canisius.
Enjoy watching number 18, Carson Billig, on defensive midfield. He's really physical. He really likes to get up into the offensive middie's face on his hands, really kind of impose his will. So far it hasn't come back to bite him, but you have to kind of balance that aggression with making sure you match feet. Right there, keeps him from getting topside. Billig's doing a good job.
Trying to cut off Jordan Reed.
Again, no inches given, really just right on him. Slide came, didn't necessarily need it. Michigan recovers well. Hunter Taylor saves that rather weak shot from a falling away number 23 on Canisius.
Hunter Peruki was the one falling away that time. Michigan goes the other way. Tiernan couldn't haul in the pass and
just no
picked
need
up on the ground ball.
Just really no need to force that pass there to Tiernan. He was guarded fairly tightly. Uncharacteristic mistake from Mikey Boehm there.
Eric Allen to Patrick Mitchell, working on the goal line extended. Mitchell down behind the crease to Mason Wolford. Wolford, excuse me, will try to set it there for the Golden Griffins. Canisius moving it around. Mitchell on a spin, charging toward the crease. Now resets it back down.
Roberts does a good job keeping him underneath.
Caden Easter now trying to spin, working against Bo Peterson. Canisius will swing it back around. Now down to Patrick Mitchell at the X. Over to Mason Wolford. Back out to, I believe that's Ian Owens. Excuse me, that's Easter.
I mean, right now it looks like the offensive midfielder is being guarded by Pedersen, or for lack of a better term, almost going through the motions, because they know he has the physical advantage. And in a lot of ways, it can be a rather fruitless endeavor to go against him as the shot clock runs out.
And you were talking about Billig being physical on defense. Did a nice job there, and Michigan will take possession. Hunter Taylor will bring it up near the midfield line.
National announcers for ESPN, Quint Kesenick, Paul Carcaterra, among others. National playoffs, they've been known to refer to Pedersen as a savage, a guy who will take your head off, a guy who will run you over, and you can see why as you watch him patrol the defensive end of the field here.
Ryan Cohen to a cutting Bo Lockwood. Lockwood one more, and it's finished by Mikey Boehm. Wolverines pick up where they left off in the first half.
I want to note
and extend the lead.
I want to note the way Bo Lockwood made that play even flashier than it already was. He had his step on his defender. He saw Michael Boehm on the opposite side of the goal the entire way. He actually was looking at Boehm, looked away from him just so he could make that nice no-look pass, and Mikey Boehm finishes on an rather open net.
Bo Lockwood's had a couple flashy assists in this one.
Yeah, there's some guys, you know, when the ball's in their stick, you just know something, he's going to make something happen. He's always got his head up, always looking at the goal.
So 11:40 face-off won this time by Wheatfeld for Michigan.
Hansen won that clamp, but Wheatfeld does a good job of using his body to prevent Hansen from really moving forward, and Wheatfeld was able to go get that ground ball.
Cahal Roberts ahead. Now to Tiernan. And Lockwood now.
I want to see Mulholland get a dodge here.
So they'll leave it for Mulholland.
Mulholland's a guy who, in high school, he's dominating matchups, you know. They're looking to get him the ball all the time. He's got that in him. Just not really looked at as a primary facilitator on this Michigan team yet this season.
Mulholland working toward the crease. Trying to, works it down to the X.
Cohen's just so quick. Watch him go underneath here.
So Cohen will leave it for Lockwood. Bo Lockwood, a quick spin move, fires it down and on a cut.
Wow, that is just a fantastic play from Lockwood and Boehm there.
Mikey Boehm caught that one in the air and finished it on the way down, took a bump, and it didn't matter.
Bo Lockwood was carrying that ball up to the top of the box, spins on an absolute dime, freezes his defender, gets some space, and that time the pass was a little bit high to Mikey Boehm. Mikey Boehm, despite not being the tallest player on the field, is able to display his hops and catch that with a quick stick, and the ball was in and out in a blink of an eye and in the back of the net.
Bo Lockwood been impressive in this one for Michigan. 17-2 Wolverines now. Face-off, Weller's in there for Michigan. And the ground ball picked up by Micah Hansen for Canisius.
Mikey Boehm now has 7 points on the day, which is rather astounding to me because he just plays his game. He's not forcing anything. You almost don't even sometimes you don't even register he's on the field, and then he scored a goal before you could even notice. Defender Ryan Linclip has entered the game at close defense. Michigan starting to rotate some of their reserves in.
17-2 in this one with 10-10 left here in the third quarter. Canisius rotating it around. Mason Wolford working from the X. Now back over to Patrick Mitchell. Now working down is Jordan Reed.
In this set, Michigan side will be coming from the crease. Whitney keeps a good job keeping number 39 underneath.
That's Keegan Kozak. He'll leave it back for Mitchell. Jimmy Pisani
tries to body him, doesn't really. Pisani tries to rely on the body there. The midfielder able to kind of use that to his advantage and get a step.
Michigan coming in transition. Jack Whitney lost a pass, couldn't pick up the ground ball. And it's picked up going the other way in a hurry.
Taylor's got to get back in the net. He does.
And Jack Welsh gets back as well to stay in front of Patrick Mitchell.
Even though that clear didn't work out, you got a little bit of a display where I was talking about Hunter Taylor there. He was able to run out of the cage, corral that ground ball, very confident, got it to a midfielder who then threw it away. But you see the athleticism there from Hunter Taylor.
Trying to work now for Canisius.
Jack Welsh being physical up top with that football background, former walk-on at University of Cincinnati football team.
And now attacking downhill is Hunter Peruki.
Pisani also lets his mark get some space again, but Welsh is there to help.
Jack Welsh working on Peruki again. Peruki fires a shot off the mark to the left.
See, Welsh, number 23, Peruki got some space on Welsh there, but in the grand scheme of things, taking a contested shot from about 15 yards out, you know, the Michigan Wolverines defense will take it every time. Hunter Taylor will see that shot.
Canisius swinging it around.
Hunter Taylor tries to intercept the pass.
Taylor tried to intercept the pass, got out of position. Canisius got it around for the shot.
And there's the flip side of what I talked about there, you know. Everything in moderation. Hunter Taylor, an athletic player looking to be active, intercept that pass for his team. But you see what happens when that is unsuccessful as he leaves this cage essentially open for that goal.
So Canisius gets one back, 17-3. Weller in there for the face-off again for Michigan.
See what Jackie Weller does here. If he scrums it up like he's wont to do. Violation on Hansen. Hansen's violated quite a few times this game. Wonder if the Wolverines' clamp speed is kind of getting to him, and he looks like he needs to capitalize with as quick a reaction time as possible.
Peterson to Boehm. Boehm gets a screen from Ryan Cohen. Now down to Mulholland. Mulholland behind the crease.
Mulholland inverting here. See him go to the goal. Draws a slide.
Justin Brown.
Wolverines working it around. Good ball movement. Nothing there, but they can try again.
Wolverines on the catch.
Tiernan's wide open. Just bounces it over the net.
Wolverines keep it. Justin Brown now has to run down a ground ball. He's got it.
Brown's drawing the pole matchup this possession. Gets it to Lockwood, also covered by a pole.
Lockwood gets a screen.
Now he beats his man. He's picked up by a short stick defender. See what he does.
Lockwood.
Nice slide there from number 22.
And a shot fired off a bounce by Mulholland. That one wasn't particularly close. It'll stay with Michigan.
Not a lot of time left on the shot clock, so you understand why Mulholland let that shot go. But that's not a very high percentage shot right there. Defender on him.
8 on the shot clock.
Mikey Boehm turns around his defender.
Boehm
Draws slide. That's high. Flag right there. Michigan will go on the man up for the first time this afternoon.
It's the first time we've seen a flag fly.
The Canisius short stick defender got a little over anxious there on Mikey Boehm. Hits him high, hits him in the face mask. Easy call for the ref. Hunter Taylor is being subbed out of the game here for Shane Carr, hailing from Severna Park, Maryland, hometown of my mom. Shane Carr was a starter last couple seasons. He ended up losing his starting role to Hunter Taylor in the back end of the Michigan season last year. But it's comfort to Michigan to know they have such an experienced goalie there to relieve Taylor if necessary.
Now in goal for Michigan,
Wolverines
number
moving it
41,
around.
Shane
Lockwood to Bain.
Michigan has their man-up offense on the field, which is Lockwood, Aronson, Tiernan, Bame, Cohen, and I missed somebody.
Christian
Ronda.
Shot fired in off a bounce by Tiernan. He picks up another for Michigan.
That whole time, all that plays about is Tiernan is just constantly moving, looking for open space. Eventually finds it. If they're open, you can always trust Lockwood, Cohen, Bame, or really anybody on that man-up unit to get him the ball. He has a cool, calm, and collected finish there. Oh my. You can keep doing it if you want.
18-3, 6:26 left here in the third.
Oh, Hansen wins that one forward.
Michigan goal. His
Oh.
fifth of the game,
Hansen tries to
scored
flip
by
it to
number
Patrick Mitchell,
44,
goes over his head.
Justin
Mitchell will pick it
Tiernan.
up before it goes out.
Assisted
The
by
whistle will
number
blow.
10,
Ball went out of bounds.
Hansen felt the pressure coming from LSM Jimmy Pisani from behind. Tried to rush that ball out of his stick, ends up going out of bounds.
So up ahead on the charge is Welsh. And over to the man coming on for Michigan.
We have Brandon Plemons entering the game. Emmett Houlihan's entered the game.
So Michigan, some of the depth players getting some burn here.
Houlihan played an interesting role on the team last year. He took a lot of face-off wings, and then the team trusted him to stay on for that offensive possession. What was interesting was they didn't really deploy him in any other facets of the game as a traditional offensive or defensive midi. He gets that away.
Houlihan picked that one up, tried to leave it for Nick Rode.
Lays the lumber there, Houlihan. Gets the ball back. We have big Graham Hertzberg retains possession. John Morgan, a Michigan native, now dodging from up top. As is Bo Lockwood, a Michigan native. Plemons, guilty of trying to do a little bit too much, turns his head, slide comes. Impressive that he held on to that ball, though. We have attackman freshman Jack Jenkins operating behind the cage, runs out of time. Got double teamed, effective double team there from Canisius. Throws the goalie Tommy Coons throws the ball away unless they cheat. Yeah, Tommy Coons still in net for the Golden Griffins. Midfielders on for the Wolverines are Alex Gatto, C.J. Riley, and Houlihan still. C.J. Riley with the ball. Graham Hertzberg bodies up his defender. Able to get a pretty good shot with his hands free there. Nice save from Coons. Hertzberg also an alumnus of the Landon School in Bethesda, Maryland. Gatto, Riley, and Matt Hahn will be the offensive midfielders this possession, as Nick Rude, Graham Hertzberg, and Jack Jenkins are the attackmen. Wholesale substitution of all the offensive starters for the Wolverines. Hertzberg didn't can that shot, but he does a good job of catching that pass and keeping his feet moving to increase his angle. Just misses going low, aiming for the low right corner. Something that's interesting for me to see when teams put in all their backups is, if you're recruited to University of Michigan to play lacrosse, you are a heck of a lacrosse player. But you can still see the nerves come out sometimes when these backups get in the game as they look to, you know, make their impact on the game known. And, you know, they don't have as many reps. So especially this early in the season, you see them kind of shake the rust off. Number 4, Michael Frechette leads the transition offense. Hertzberg doesn't hesitate to shoot again, saved again by Tommy Coons. Tommy Goons finds an outlet in Kotzak there. Successful clear for Canisius as they call a timeout.
So 2 minutes left here in the third, our score bug. Michigan leading 18-3. Emilio doing some play-by-play there. Some of these bench guys get some chances for Michigan.
Yes. Now Graham Hertzberg, in particular, as we've already seen him release 3 shots, he was a top 50 inside lacrosse recruit coming to Michigan, so we know he has the pedigree. Now he's been with the team a couple years. We'll see if he gets increased playing time this season now as a junior. He's an imposing player, lefty attackman in high school, although I've seen him get some midfield run here. You know, he's got a cannon of a shot when he gets it free. CJ Riley getting on the field now, another top 100 inside lacrosse recruit. He's a true freshman from Cold Spring Harbor, Long Island. You see there representing kind of the hotbeds of lacrosse for this Michigan team.
So 18-3. Still a quarter to go after this one. So some good reps coming for these Michigan bench guys that you're talking about, like Hertzberger. And these guys are young, might play big roles for Michigan in future seasons.
Of course, yeah. Nick Rude is also a freshman. He's out there on attack. Jack Jenkins, also a freshman from Ohio, out there on attack. See who subbed in for the defense here. We have Max Bonners out there. We have McCurry still out there. Number 21, Ryan Langcliffe remains. Wilson Sneath. And I think that's the last poll. Can't tell at the moment. It's Pisani. Okay, so with a little mix of some guys who see some time as depth pieces and some guys who might be the first time seeing the field this game. Canisius had a nice little motion offense going there. Errant pass, but Michigan was doing their best to recover. We have a dodge coming top side, number 4, Mitchell. Gets that backside look. Deflected off of Wilson Sneath's stick. Shane Carnow in goal gets to Grant McCurry for a very easy clear. See if they let McCurry play some offense here, typically a strictly defensive midi.
.40 seconds left here in the quarter. Michigan has to work with.
Yep, shot clock off, no longer a factor this quarter with 35 seconds left. Brandon Plemons with the ball. Probably going to wind this clock down a little bit. Look for one last definitive play. Dodge his short stick defender. He's kind of toying with him at the top of the box right now. Kind of starting and going. There he goes. Goes left. Slide comes. Look for the backside look to Hertzberg. Oh, went backside to Houlihan, who got it to the crease for a drop pass. And that's how the quarter ends. A little bit unsettled possession there, but that's not uncommon at all in short time situations.
So 18-3
Canisius 3.
as we head into the fourth. Low scoring third quarter there. It's just 3-1 in Michigan's favor. Second quarter was 5-1 in Michigan's favor after the dominant 10-1 first quarter.
Yeah, it was a nice quarter for the Wolverines. Now they get to see what their subs can do. You know, coaches are always watching, you know. So trying to put their best foot forward, identify if any of these subs can really, you know, earn a role in the top half of this Michigan roster.
And you're talking about Shane Carr, too. Made a save off a tip there. And you said it sort of. It's so nice to have an experienced goalie in your depth if you need it.
Extremely valuable. You know, he's been there. He's played against some of the best teams in college lacrosse. Was a starting goalie. Faced that 2022 undefeated national champion Maryland Terrapins team. So he knows what he's doing in cage. Hunter Taylor and Shane Carr, at some point last season, the coaching staff started playing them each a half. But, you know, in my experience playing lacrosse, it's hard for goalies to really get into a nice rhythm if they're only playing one half of a game. As the season wore on, the coaching staff identified Taylor as the hot hand and rode him into the playoffs. But we see Shane Carr being a good teammate, and he's ready to step up whenever he is called upon. Looks like we have Nick Louderback taking the face-off against Hansen, with Mason Whitney, brother of defenseman Jack Whitney, as well as Michael Frechette taking the wings. Frechette played quite a bit last season. We'll see how he figures into this roster with the addition of poles like Stanzel and Roberts into the rotation, as well as the impending return of Ryan Schreiber. While the offense with the substitutions looked a little bit out of sorts, I feel like the defense still looks pretty rock solid with their substitutions of their own. Frechette marks his opponent well. Now it's behind the cage with Ryan Langclip. Good slide there from Bonner. Recover well up top. Frechette is now going against number 19, Webster. Dislodges the ball. Midfielder Mason Whitney brings it across and gets it to an attackman. Really not much of a Canisius ride for most of this game. The clearing situation's been pretty easy for the Wolverines. And you wonder if that's more of a system decision, more of their style of play for Canisius to just hustle back on defense, or whether it's more of a testament the Michigan defense really just getting the ball out and into their offensive end as quickly as possible before Canisius can set up a ride. Number 25, Alex Gatto takes a shot that goes wide. Michigan's retained possession. It's the closest to the end line with number 45, Jack Jenkins. CJ Riley with the ball up top, dodges underneath, gets a switch. Now goes back to X with number 29, Matt Hahn, a midfielder. Gets it up top. It go down towards the crease there with Nick Rude, who brings it out, looks to size up his short stick matchup, gets upside, goes low. Nice save from Coons there. Read that Low shot all the way, and actually I think there was a goalie change, as it's now number 14, Garrett Long. Nice save from him. Doesn't let that shot go 5-hole as they bring it into their offensive end. Ryan Langkip is up top, guarding his man, as is 29, Matt Hahn. Canisius in an open set. Justin Ennis marks Mitch Webster down the alley. No step really gained there. Nice, gets a little bit of space. Number 8, Easter on Canisius, gets it back over to another midi. Pisani's guarding his man over there on the point. Gets it to a left-handed shot from Webster, who cans it. High to low shot to the low outside corner. Really had a lot of time and room there to take that shot, and he capitalizes on it.
So 18-4, Canisius gets one back.
Getting a taste of this play-by-play commentary here, trying to keep up with all the names as the play goes on. Louder back out there for the face-off. Violation from Hansen. That's got to be like his 5th violation of the game.
He's had a couple of those.
A little bit over-anxious. Knows that Michigan's won the possession battle this game, trying to get an advantage as Hertzberg brings it behind the cage to Jenkins. Rude with the ball now at the righty point. Gets it up top. Gets it up top to number 36, Brandon Plemons, who then gets it to John Morgan. He's looking for a dodge. He gets underneath, gets some space, slide comes, gets it behind the cage. Jenkins again, who brings it back up to Brandon Plemons, who rolls to his left, rolls back to his right, gets it over to Houlihan. Swim move, nothing there. Operating behind the cage now is Houlihan, inverting, looking for a cutter. Takes it himself to the right-hand side, gets it up top to Jenkins, who then gets it to Morgan for a shot that goes wide. Flag down on the field. Not quite sure what the infraction was there from Canisius defense. But notable that Michigan is putting their starting man-up unit back into the game, because even though this game is well out of reach for Canisius, the Wolverines want to capitalize on getting as many real in-game reps for this man-up unit as possible. This time we have Mulholland out there. I don't believe he was out there in the first man-up possession. It's up top with Bo Lockwood. Gets it over to Ryan Cohen on the lefty wing. Back up to Bo Lockwood, who's the point man here. Gets it to Rhonda, back to Lockwood. No look pass back to Rhonda. Now behind the cage with Mulholland. Back to Rhonda. Up to Lockwood. Point man, look offside to Mulholland. Right. Gets it back to Rhonda with a shot on the righty wing. Rebound to Mulholland, who cans it. Mulholland picks up the dirty work and is able to get on the board now in this game. Looked like Mulholland was open on the backside there for Lockwood. Lockwood opts to go to the crease. Mulholland still is able to become a major factor on that play. Always alert for that ground ball, rebounded off the goalie.
So 19-4, 10:20 left in this fourth, and
we have number 26, Jack Rideout, taking this draw. Scrum for the ground ball here. Rideout being ferocious, not letting the lost clamp get to him. Mike Frechette with a great lift on the Canisius D midi as they both go falling to the ground. Possession awarded to Canisius. I believe an off-ball push, a loose ball push was called there. Canisius settles into their offensive zone with number 12, Lance Williams, gets it behind the cage to number 10, Walthead. Now up top again with number 6, Fridge. Gets it back down behind the cage. Now with number 4 operating from the right end and up top to that righty point again. It's forced underneath. Number 12, Lance Williams, got free. Had more time to kind of give Shane Carr a little fake and try to finish. Instead, kind of shot it right into Carr's foot for a rather easy save, and Wolverines are back on the clear. Looking for an outlet here as the Wolverines still on their defensive end. Number 0, Wilson Sneath, forced to just throw it. Refs determined that it was after the time had expired, so Canisius gets the ball back with a free clear. Ball is taken by number 24, Jordan Reed, who is marked by Jimmy Pisani, Michigan's LSM. We have number 12, Williams, taking a dodge, getting top side. Gives it up to the lefty point, gets it down. They bang it back across the righty wing. And number 0, Wilson Sneath, is playing some physical defense. Let's Mitchell get a little bit of space there after initially bodying him up. Shot goes wide, though. Number 90, Bonner, is playing defense here. Does a pretty good job as there's an errant pass to Williams on the righty wing. Canisius retains possession, though, on the ground ball. Nice little fake there from 6, Jackson Fridge, who kind of fakes himself and loses the ball on the roll. And Max Bonner takes the ball into offense possession. They get it to number 21, Ryan Lineclip, who has an easy lane to the goal and finishes. Long pole goal for the Wolverines.
Yeah, I was going to say, how about the long pole getting out in transition and finishing that one?
So important to have long poles who are capable of stick handling and playing a role on offense, because in a game that is determined by possessions, you can make a transition really, really hurt. That is just a major factor on the course of a game.
I mean, that was defenseman to defenseman, Bonner to Lineclip there for Michigan.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And those are guys that are not even in the starting rotation. There's a lot of talent here. Number 26, Jack Rideout, awarded possession there. He's going towards the goal, brings it out to number 50, Graham Hertzberg. Gets it to Jack Jenkins, who's operating behind the cage. Jack Jenkins still with the ball here. He's going to get it to number 12, Ben Hull, who's inverting here. That's an errant pass from Ben Hull up top, but is saved by Lineclip from going over and back. So the Wolverines retain possession here with 40 seconds left on the shot clock. Jenkins behind the cage once again gets a pick onto a shorty, passes it up to the lefty point, back to the righty point now, as as I believe that's Chris Gang throws it away. Sorry, not Chris Gang. Nick Rude throws it away and punishes himself by doing some push-ups on the field. Guess the coaches have drilled that into him, into his mentality. He knows he kind of forced that one. Ryan Lineclip. I've been impressed with Lineclip's presence on defense here in this reserve group. I wonder if whenever the Wolverines have to play in a man-down situation this season, I wonder if he's going to be that fifth pole that comes in to spell whichever defenseman has been given the penalty and must spend time in the box. We have Justin Ennis. Sorry, it's not Justin Ennis. That's Josh Ford getting some time at D-Midi as Canisius takes a shot. That's an easy save for Shane Carr. Number 55, Thomas Lohman brings in the offensive side of the field, gets it to Low Bell, who goes high to low, but a nice save from Tommy Coons, who goes to his right side despite being a left-handed goalie. Flag down on the field, though, as it looks like Michigan is going to once again go a man up, and with that, return many of the offensive starters to the field.
Yeah, and 20-4, 5:36 left here, but this man-up group's been pretty efficient for Michigan. Their goals have come quickly on the couple possessions they've had.
Now, I could be wrong, but I thought on that first man-up group they had Isaac Aronson on. Now, in the second possession and now the third possession, Aiden Mulholland looks to have taken his place. Again, there are so many offensive weapons for the Wolverines that they're probably just working out who's going to fit best into what situations, with plenty of capable options available. We have Bo Lockwood as the point man here. Excuse me, who is that? No, it is Bo Lockwood, sorry. Ryan Cohen gets it down to Mikey Boehm, up back to Lockwood. Now gets it to Mulholland and behind to Lockwood.
Sort of faked a handoff.
Yeah,
there.
Rhonda released a shot from up top. Excuse me, Rhonda was running point that possession, not Lockwood. Now Lockwood operates behind the cage. Gets it back up to Rhonda. Illegal procedure of some kind called there as Canisius is given back possession. Now Bo Lockwood was just given a slash as there's a delayed penalty on the field with the ride. Gotta admire the tenacity of Lockwood still to be riding that defense, but the aggression gets a better part of him there. As number 19 on Canisius, Webster takes a shot in transition and it goes wide. Now Canisius looks to go on the man up, and we'll see this Wolverines man down unit.
This is the first time we've seen this today.
We'll see if the Wolverines send a lot of the starters back up there, if they're content to let their substitutions play this out. It looks like they'll leave many of the reserve defenders out there, including Frechette, Langcliffe, Hank Sayre, and Wilson Sneath out there. Important to really cover as much ground as possible on the man-down defense with that man advantage. Have to cover your zone very well as be prepared to cover someone else's zone. As Canisius capitalizes on a momentary opening, and number 19, Jackson Webster, cans a nice low-to-high shot on Shane Carr. You know, I put that more as a nice play by Canisius man up there. There wasn't really that much room, and you know, they really capitalized on a little space, and Webster releases that nice shot. You know, there's only so much you can do on man down. You can play it perfectly sometimes, and they'll still find an opening. As Louderbeck wins this faceoff forward, going towards the goal, takes it out and gets it to attackman Alex Lobel. Oh, who gets it to LSM Jimmy Pisani, who tries a behind-the-back shot that goes wide. You gotta love the creativity, but you wonder whether he might have had a better shot had he just kept it in his right hand.
I mean, Pisani had no one there but him and the goalie.
Yeah, truly. You know,
that was as
get a
open
little
a look
crafty.
we've seen.
All right, it's number 30. As Emmett Houlihan operates from the lefty wing with a shorty on him, gets it back up to John Morgan, and now with Lobel up top on the left-hand side. Gets top side, guarded pretty well, looks for Morgan on the crease, who takes a shot falling away and misses. Wolverines retain possession. with Houlihan behind the cage. Coming left side, gets a slide. Lobel lets a shot go. Goes in. Stick side hip on Coons. It's a nice confident shot there from Lobel with the defender not far away from him. Gets just enough time and room on that shot to can it. And I believe that his first goal of his college career.
So, the freshman.
The freshman from Roswell, Georgia.
Michigan extends this lead to 21-5. 3:36 left here.
Louderbeck taking the draw once again against Hansen. Hansen wins the clamp, but number 55, Thomas Lohman of the Wolverines, comes up with the ground ball. Gets it back to Shane Carr. And now Hank Sayre starts to clear back to... Sorry, this is not Carr anymore. This is Cameron Goodlow. Wolverines are with their third goalie now. Cameron Goodlow almost ran out of options. Gets it across just in a nick of time to Alex Gatto, who then gets it to Matt Hahn. And the Wolverines now are subbing some offensive personnel onto the field. We are now at 3 minutes left in the game. Wolverines lead 21-5 against Canisius Golden Griffins. As number 31, CJ Riley gets it behind the cage. Back up to Hahn, who hesitates, gets some space, but the ball is dislodged before he can get that shot off. Canisius now has it on the clear. Michigan riding. No clear open midfielder for Canisius as they find number 8, who runs over Michigan pole Thomas Lohman. Nice physical play there from Caden Easter of Canisius.
Lohman was setting up to lay the wood and got knocked over.
Now, Mitchell of Canisius, operating with the ball behind the cage, gets it to Williams, who now takes a dodge and tries to get topside. Still on that, now going behind the cage and back to Mitchell, who gets it to Collins, who's pushed out. There's a flag there, going to be a slash on Collins as he made that dodge. As they get it back to Mitchell, now Collins again is going to take a wing dodge here. Or actually, he's going to go invert this play. Falls, regains his balance. Now he's going to the left side. Gets a backhanded shovel shot off, which misses wide on goalie Cameron Goodlow. Canisius retains possession on the shot. As the man-down unit from Michigan comes back on with Frechette, Lingclip, Mason Whitney, now with a pole, interestingly enough, as he usually plays a short stick, as well as Lucas Delgado, who is the short stick on this man-down unit.
Penalty, number 55, Thomas Lohman.
Canisius has a man in the crease as they flip the ball around. Nothing open quite yet. They bring a man into the crease. Number 4 to number 4, Mitchell operating from up top. He's the point man. Gets it into the crease, but there's a great crease collapse from the Wolverines. 4 Wolverines converge on the crease man before he can even think about getting off a shot. They get the ball to goalie Cameron Goodlow, who starts to clear. 50 seconds left here. Number 20, Lucas Delgado, loses his balance, but is persistent in his attempts to clear and is able to get forward enough and draw a push in the back, and the Wolverines retain possession as they look to kind of just let the clock run out here, most likely. If Alex Lobel at the lefty wing scored his first collegiate goal here a few minutes ago to Jack Jenkins, who looks like he's going to score. It doesn't look like they're content to just let the clock run out quite yet, as number 47, Josh Ford, holds the ball at the top of the box. Now they're just kind of letting the time run out as number 12, Ben Hull, has his ball on his cross as the last 7 seconds here tick off the clock. And the time runs out here the Wolverines win their home opener with the definitive score of 21-5. 16-point win here for the Wolverines. Good job by the Wolverines to turn the page on their loss to the University of Virginia last weekend and begin their home schedule with a win.
That concludes today's game.
Absolutely. And Michigan dominated this one throughout, you know. They were up early with the dominant first quarter and held on from there.
Yeah, the Wolverines will be back. No longer playing in Ann Arbor. They'll now be playing at Detroit Country Day School. Still a home game against Hobart on Saturday.
And WCBN might have a crew on that one. That is up in the air, but do our best to try to cover it. And this team doesn't have a ton of home games this year, but the rest of them should all be covered by WCBN Sports.
I noted some teams that they played away last year. They're playing away again last year, which I thought was kind of interesting. In particular, University of Virginia. You wonder if the frigid Michigan winter plays a factor in those scheduling decisions.
Yeah, we didn't really mention it, but getting warmer as of late here, and then it was hailing this afternoon as we were getting ready to head over.
Yeah, we had a little false spring here last week. Now it's kind of returning to a regular kind of wintry weather for this February evening.
So 21-5, Michigan wins it. Emilio, any final thoughts to wrap this one up? Any takeaways going forward?
Just I thought Michigan, they came in, probably knew they had the talent advantage in basically all facets of the game. And they played confidently. They imposed their will. They didn't force too much. They played their game. They played unselfishly. They played fundamentally and resulted in the scoreboard ending in 21-5. And I don't care who you're playing in a lacrosse game, 21 goals is an impressive number to put up. And 5 goals allowed is an equally amazing statistic.
I mean, how about the 10 in the first period? That was a fiery start for Michigan early on in this one.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like they were scoring every time the ball touched their sticks. You know, Ryan Cohen really stood out to me today. Bo Lockwood looks like he's going to be a very crucial part of this offense after playing more of an extra man specialist role last year. And Michael Boehm, who is the alpha of this offense, he gets 7 points about as quietly as one can possibly get 7 points. He is truly a chameleon of a player.
So that'll about do it here. Thank you for tuning in to WCBN Sports' coverage of Michigan lacrosse. We'll be back covering this team and the women's lacrosse squad throughout the season. Thank you for Emilio for joining me on this one, and it was awesome on color commentary and play-by-play in the latter half of this ball game. So
I enjoyed being with you, Alex, to herald in the new season.
Of course. So we'll leave it at that. Thank you for tuning in to WCBN Sports. For Emilio Biagioli, I'm Alex Miller, and we'll leave you as we always do. The good night and the go blue. Take care, folks.